Number 1. Dundee Hikes is the kind of guy who finds peace in the wilderness. His usual videos are calm and beautiful, just nature, fresh air, quiet trails, and the kind of scenery that makes you feel like the world isn't so bad after all. But this time, things took a turn he didn't see coming. It started like any other morning.
Broke camp at Islip Saddle that morning, and I decided to do like a mile more road walk before joining the PCT again. And as I approached the Javis Memorial Picnic Ground, I noticed there was a single car in the parking lot, and it was backed up to the edge. But what really caught my attention was that the back tires were way up on the embankment. So that caused me to walk over and take a closer look. And that's when I noticed the rope that was tied to the back and disappearing over the edge. And I really didn't even think anything about it at that moment. I pulled out my camera and I took a little video, something like, hey, look at this. This is weird. I guess I'll never know what was going on here.
First, he didn't think much of it. He even filmed a short clip, joking about how weird it looked and how he'd probably never find out what it was. But something about it didn't sit right. He tried to walk away. Couldn't. So he dropped his pack, went back, and looked over the edge. What he saw froze him.
And just think to yourself, what the heck is going on here? And unfortunately, knowing that you will never know. Well, my curiosity got the better of me, and I dropped my pack so I could shuffle down and look over the edge. And now I'm hiking back to my campsite where I had some signal so I can call the police and report the suicide. And that is not how I wanted to start my day.
The rope wasn't just hanging, it was around someone's neck. At first, Dundee shouted, hoping, praying it was some twisted prank. It wasn't. Shaken, he rushed to find a spot with signal and used his in-reach device to notify authorities. They responded quickly, sending in a helicopter and ground teams. The fire department showed up first.
Helicopter out, and I know they're sending ground units too. I don't know if the helicopter can land anywhere here though. Looks like the fire department showed up, so the chopper is moving on to the next thing. Well, all the rest of them got on scene here. I gave my statement to the sheriff, and they said they don't need anything else from me, so.
He gave his report to the sheriff, and later homicide detectives came out not because they suspected him, but to rule out foul play. Standard procedure. But even so, standing there with that weight on his shoulders wasn't easy. It's the kind of thing that sticks with you. A peaceful hike turning into something tragic in the span of minutes. Number 2. This footage comes from Back to Basics Adventures, a YouTube channel run by Strick, who's known for tackling solo survival missions, primitive bushcraft, and remote island treks. He often ventures into some of Australia's most isolated spots, living off whatever he can find. On May 9th, 2025, what began as a standard survival trip took an unsettling turn. While exploring, Strick came across a strange arrangement of imported rocks, thought to be remnants of an old headhunting tribe's ritual site. He left the area respectfully, but back at camp, something felt off.
And chips, served with a view.
Pretty good, isn't it?
Alrighty, let's see how he went with these chips. Man, did you hear that crunch? They've got a bit of a sour aftertaste that almost tastes a little bit like you're not meant to eat them. They almost taste a little bit poisonous, so I might go a little bit easy on them, but there's nothing wrong with that at all. That meat on that long time is actually quite nice. They are riddled with a lot of bones. At the moment behind you guys, we've got one hell of a Mother Nature show going on. The sun's setting, there's birds coming back in. Amazing. So I'm gonna smash this food down and watch it all unfold.
That evening, while eating a meal made entirely from what he'd gathered, he bit into what he assumed was a potato, only to notice a bitter, sour taste. It turned out to be an arrowhead root, which can be toxic. He stopped just in time and stuck to eating the fish.
Someone's outside. I've just heard someone outside.
Hello? Hello?
Later that night, strange noises pulled him from his sleep. Stepping out of his tent, he caught a glimpse of something moving just beyond the firelight, quick, but enough to make his heart race.
My fire is now going again that I put out hours ago. And I heard footprints straight, unmistakably out the front of my swag that woke me up. And that fire has kicked back off again. So I put that fire out hours ago because it was so smoky. Whew. Oh, there's no way I'm getting back to sleep now. The hairs on my neck are like standing up with chills. I'm just gonna sit out here and see if I hear it again. Oh man, sorry for the language.
Stranger still, the fire he'd put out hours earlier was burning again. Reviewing his trail cam the next day, Strick found footage of something or someone darting away right as he stepped outside.
Oh, what a crazy night. I've been trying to think what that noise could have been, like a rational explanation. Maybe it was a big turtle that was swimming in the shallows and came up for a breath. They do a big loud that type of a thing when they come up for a breath. Oh, actually, I set the trail camera up last night. I'm gonna go have a look, see if there's any footage on that. So these trail cameras, they're set up so they will only start filming if two things happen: if there's movement in front of them, or if there is a heat source moving in front of them. So, yeah, we've got me hopping around outside with a torch. It's got me coming outside of the swag here, but oh man, this is the crazy thing. So this starts filming when I reckon I heard the noise, and then, you know, like 10 seconds later, you see me then start turning the torch on and filming inside the swag, and then I come outside. There's no obvious movement, but there must have been, I mean, a heat source or something has triggered this. There's a dead bird. Like, this is where I've got my bag and stuff I put down last night, fishing rod. And how did I not notice this dead bird right where all my gear was? Some strange, a bit of a strange feeling about this place, eh? That's weird, really weird.
No clear ID, but enough to raise questions. Out here, wildlife is expected. What's truly unnerving is realizing you might not be as alone as you thought. That's when a survival trip turns into a different kind of fight. Number 3. Dan travels full-time in his van with his dog Cassie, chasing freedom, quiet roads, and new places. Most of the time, it's the dream life, but on this trip, things turn darker. They were making their way through Colorado after hours of driving, stopping at a quiet woodland spot to rest. Cassie was restless, and Dan just wanted to relax and eat the leftovers he'd been saving.
The first road trip in a long time, Cassie the dog was pretty nervous. We made it about 2 hours down the road before pulling over for our first break. Cassie was pretty anxious, so I just wanted to let her out and let her chill for a little bit. And along with that, the van is overdue for an oil. After a full day of driving through the flatlands from Iowa into Nebraska, we were both ready to pull over and call the night. I wanted to eat my leftover Mexican food, and Cassie still hadn't eaten, and it was like 7 p.m. And she had been getting pretty antsy about getting supper fed. So it seemed like it was going to be a good idea to stop for the night and take a rest. Come here, let's turn the lights on it. I swear I just saw a set of eyes over there. I swear I just saw a reflection. Oh man. We're not gonna get spooked. We're not gonna get spooked.
As she sniffed around outside, he caught a faint glint in the distance, two unmoving eyes reflecting in the dark. He shrugged it off as nothing, but later, just as he was drifting to sleep, someone started tugging on the van's door handle.
What's going on, bud? So I just woke up to the noise of something rutting around outside the van. I don't know if it was somebody fucking with the back door handle or if it was just somebody bumping against the van. But we are parked somewhere that there should be no one near the van. And then I heard a loud belch. I got up and grabbed my safety device, and I haven't heard anything since. And that's when I realized somebody's trying to break into the van. I can hear somebody tugging on the door handle, and I am out in the middle of nowhere.
Dan jumped up, yelling to scare them off, then grabbed his protection. The noise stopped, but the unease lingered. Instead of moving, he stayed put, trying to sleep, but the night kept throwing problems his way.
At this point in the day, I'm just irritated that my night's sleep is now going to be completely ruined, not only by the bed bugs and ticks, but by some Jimmy trying to break into the van. Normal person probably would have got up and drove to a new parking spot at that time, but I just truly had not one fuck left to give. So we tried to go back to sleep. I cannot sleep. Cassie's being antsy. I swear to God, there's bugs in the bed. I feel like they're everywhere. It's crazy. The dog's gonna act like she needs to go outside to go to the bathroom, but we can't go out there because there's fucking ticks everywhere. Come on, Cass. The next morning I wake up and find more ticks on Cassie, so we go straight to the vet to get her taken care of and make sure everything is safe, because ticks can be kind of serious. Which I was bummed to spend a couple $100 at the vet, but little do I know I'm going to be spending 10 times that in a couple days down the road when Cassie has to stay overnight at the vet for a couple.
Ticks in the bed, Cassie pacing, and the constant feeling something wasn't right. By morning, both he and Cassie were crawling with ticks. A trip to the vet confirmed she needed treatment, costing hundreds, and a few days later, she had to be kept overnight, running the bill much higher. Between the attempted break-in and the infestation, the trip was a sharp reminder that van life isn't all sunsets and freedom sometimes. The dangers are waiting right outside your door. Number 4. Thomas runs an outdoor adventure channel, usually camping deep in the forest with his dog. He's had a few odd encounters over the years, but nothing staged, just the kind of things that happen when you spend a lot of time in the wild. This trip, however, he wanted to push himself. A night alone in the forest, no dog, no backup. It was his first real solo wild camp. The spot wasn't just any public woodland either. It was private land where he had permission to stay, which gave him some peace of mind. He explored until he found the perfect clearing, close enough to his car but still tucked away.
There are a couple of reasons why this is a very special episode. Reason number 1 is that it's my first time ever doing a solo woodland camp. In fact, it's not just my first time ever doing a solo woodland camp, it's technically my first time ever doing a truly solo wild camp, because the only one other one that I've done was the one at the beach. And that had Archie in it. Whereas today, I combined today and tonight there. Whereas today, I'm totally on my own. And when I say totally on my own, I mean it. Because this is not just a public bit of woodland near where I live. This is actually private land that I've got permission to camp on tonight. What I need to do, and I've done this a few times recently, is build up this tolerance to camping, where I know that I'm going to get a good night's sleep. I know I'm not going to get freaked out by the sounds in the night. This is a perfect spot, by the way. This is literally a perfect spot. The car's just there. A bit lame, but this is a good spot. Yeah, I've got to build up that tolerance. I've got to get used to the sounds of the woodland in the night, and knowing that I'm in a safe place that I have permission to be in.
His goal was to get used to the sounds of the woods at night, to build confidence camping alone without letting the noises get to him. Once camp was set, he cooked a steak, went live for about an hour, and then called it a night.
The live stream, but I think it's time to head into bed and hunker down. It's 20 to 10.
Just what I wanted. Mug chat going crazy. I'm chilling out though. I'm glad that I caught that sort of moment of doubt on camera. It's very hot. I'm gonna stick it out. That would be a terribly freaky noise if I didn't know what it was.
But before long, strange noises started echoing through the dark. At first, he brushed it off as a muntjac deer call, creepy but harmless. The problem was, the sounds didn't stop. They grew louder, closer, and more frequent until the tension became too much. Eventually, he packed up and left. Looking back, Thomas thinks it was probably a fox or some other animal. But for someone unfamiliar with the sounds of the wild, it could easily be mistaken for something more sinister, a cryptid, a skinwalker, or worse. Number 5. This eerie clip comes from the YouTube channel It's Bates, known for late-night ventures into abandoned buildings, haunted tunnels, and remote forests where strange activity is often reported. On the 24th of November, 2023, 2 explorers headed into a secluded forest just after 1 a.m., expecting nothing more than another nighttime adventure. But almost immediately, they began hearing unsettling noises, distant screams, faint whispers, and sudden flickers of light between the trees. The calm quickly shifted into tension.
So we started hearing like really weird things.
There's like lots of people or something.
It's like children.
Like full on screaming, bro.
You know, we just came to the forest, wanted to explore.
Yeah.
What the heck was that? What the heck was that?
I thought I saw light, bro.
I think so. Oh, look. What the? Bro, look. What is that? You see that?
I saw something like lights, bro.
Let's go.
It's weird as hell, bro. Like actually, bro. That is like interference, bro.
Let's go in.
Really?
Yeah, bro, look.
That's candlelight. Let's go in there for a little bit.
Looking for cover, they found an abandoned tunnel and slipped inside, hoping to regroup. But the noises kept coming closer, clearer, and now there were voices.
Let's go. Here. Come here. Come here, bro. Oh, there's whistling. Wait, bro, where are you going? Oh. Bro.
Be quiet, dude. People there, I swear. There's like a cult or something, dude. They had candles, I swear.
They had candles?
Dude, I swear. I swear on everything, they had candles. Leave the footage uncut.
Okay.
Intensified.
Right, we're in the tunnel, bro.
Guys, it's so creepy. Why are there people here? It's 1:35 a.m.
I still hear them. I still hear them, though.
Let's go.
What was that? Did that came from outside or what? Can you see them? No. Let's go to the tunnel. Dude, let's go, let's go.
Wait.
Dude, let's go. Quiet, bro. Anything else?
What is that? What the fuck is that?
Oh no, dude.
It's 1:37, as you see.
Let me see.
Oh. You see that?
Soon after, they spotted figures outside, holding candles and playing eerie music. The pair whispered back and forth, convinced they were watching some kind of cult ceremony. As flashlights swept the tunnel entrance, they made their choice run. They bolted through the opposite end of the tunnel and disappeared into the forest.
Dude, it's a cult, bro. They had candles and they're freaking playing music, bro. Let's go, let's go. Dude, let's go. They're outside. Dude, hey, no, dude, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Let's go to the other side of the tunnel and then let's get the hell out of here. This is satanic, bro. I swear. Yesterday we saw that upside down cross on the house, and now it's like there's like people with candles and they play music. I swear, bro. Look, freaking 666, bro. This whole place is satanic. I swear, bro. Wait. Oh, dude, let's go. Oh, dude, I know, dude, no, go ahead. Go. Follow me, bro. Wait, we're going. Oh my god. I see them. Dude, they have like the lights, bro. They have lights. There's one. There's. Okay.
Leaving whatever was happening behind them. Many viewers believed they stumbled onto an actual ritual. Between the candles, the music, and the group's behavior, it didn't match the profile of late-night campers. And with previous sightings of strange symbols, including an inverted cross, in the same area, it's not hard to connect the dots. The real question is, what would have happened if they had been spotted? Number 6. Matt's been living full-time in his van, traveling the country and camping wherever the road takes him. But in June 2025, one encounter left him thinking twice about who he lets share his space. He had just pulled into a new campsite, started to settle in, when another man rolled up in a dark blue Toyota 4Runner with a rooftop tent.
This. Unbelievable. This guy just pulls up, black or dark blue colored Toyota 4Runner, pop-up tent on the roof. He pulls up, he comes up to my van, he says, "Hey, all the sites are taken. Do you mind if I camp here at the end of your driveway?" And I was like, "No, I don't mind. I don't mind sharing. You know, I understand the situation. So just give me a little space. Everything's cool." So he pulls down right here and he parks here. And first thing he does, he starts blaring techno music. And I've like, no. So I come down here, I'm like, "Dude, you can't do me this way. I was kind enough to give you my campsite, and you're gonna blare your techno music?"
The guy said all the sites were taken. Could he camp at the edge of Matt's spot? Matt agreed. He's not the type to turn someone away. But almost immediately, things went sideways. The man parked, cranked up loud techno music, and sent the peaceful campsite into chaos. Matt walked over, told him he was fine with sharing the site, but not the noise. The conversation was short and tense. The man jumped back into his car, sped off, and even tried to run over one of Matt's cones.
And then he takes off and he runs over my cone, thinking he's gonna break it, but it popped right back into shape. Look at that cone. I'm way over here. He's way over here. Everything's cool. I know the situation. I've been there before when all the campsites are taken. You're desperate. The sun is about to go down. So you need a place. And I'm like, sure, no problem. And he's gonna do me like that? Starts blaring his techno music? No. That was crazy. Yeah, I'm a little amped up right now. My goodness. The things that happen when you don't even expect it. I mean, what would you do in a situation like that? You should always say, unless you have a lot of people coming into your campsite, you should say, "Yeah, I'll share with you. Just give me a little space." And he was gonna park right here. And he was gonna have all the way from the road, all the way up to about, I guess, right here. And I was gonna consider this my space, right there. Wow. But yeah, when he started blasting that, I walked down here and said, "You can't do me like this. I just offered you my campsite, and you're gonna do me like this?" Oh my gosh.
Matt walked over, told him he was fine with sharing the site, but not the noise. The conversation was short and tense. The man jumped back into his car, sped off, and even tried to run over one of Matt's cones, only for it to pop back into shape. It wasn't that Matt felt physically threatened. The guy wasn't big or aggressive. But the way the mood shifted so fast stuck with him. One minute, he's helping out a fellow traveler. The next, he's wondering if this stranger might come back after dark. He didn't. Still, that evening became a reminder. No matter how long you've been on the road, all it takes is one bad interaction for things to change in a heartbeat. Number 7. Murphy's Diesel has seen some wild recoveries, massive trucks stuck in mud, rigs flipped in ditches, but this one was different. This one could have ended in tragedy. The call came in. A massive tree had fallen straight through a camper. When Murphy and his crew rolled up, the scene looked unreal. A giant pine had snapped during what locals called a microburst, a sudden, violent burst of wind, and landed dead center on a Winnebago.
Mad Dog?
What?
What do you folks think about that? Old Mad Dog's gonna be whipping this camera around today. What do you think about that tree laying in that camper over there, babe?
It's freaking wild. That would suck.
Hello, Mommy.
Hello, Ricky. Wrecker Rick.
My mom, folks. She's coming to help us today. I mean to tell you, folks, that is a big old tree laying on top of this Winnebago.
The roof wasn't just dented. It was split wide open like a cardboard box. Inside, a woman had just finished making dinner. She was standing at the sink, washing her hands, when the tree came crashing down. A few feet to the left in the shower or lying in bed, and she wouldn't have made it out.
What happened was they had just fixed the spot at dinner. The missus was inside, minding her own business. The mister was hanging out outside when a microburst came through, and wind started a whipping. Let me tell you, broke this tree off right here and just smashed the living out of this Winnebago. He was hunkered down right here, trying to get out of the wind and the rain. Imagine being hunkered down right here. He said he had a hold of this handle, and bwhammy! Gigantic tree crushes the Winnebago. And I mean right through the roof. Here's the log right here. Had they have been showering at that moment, they'd have been goners. The missus was standing right here, had just whipped up a spotted dinner, and she was washing her hands. Just imagine, you're right here, washing up, and bwhammy! Tree comes through the ceiling. The wife sustained minor injuries. I believe she'll make a full recovery. I think the only thing holding this up is this slide out right here. I mean, the tree is literally resting right there on this slide out. Boy, I'll tell you what, this is one stout awning. It's literally holding this whole tree up. Enough chit chat, we're gonna get this thing recovered. Stand by, folks. All right, first order of business, we're gonna back Hellboy up here, and I'm gonna boom all the way up and out, and I'm gonna see how high the boom goes. Because if I can hold this log up right there, I can cut it off at the trailer. I'm worried about just cutting it off at the trailer and letting it hit the ground. I don't want it to hit the trailer. I realize it's damaged, but I don't want to damage it anymore.
So the recovery had to be slow and deliberate. By the end, the log was lifted, the immediate danger cleared, and the couple, shaken but alive, was safe. The wife walked away with only minor injuries. The camper's roof was still mangled, but the story could have been so much worse. It's the kind of job that sticks with you, not because of the damage, but because of how close it came to being fatal. Number 8. Natasha from Quest out west lives full-time in a Dodge Grand Caravan with her 3 cats. On the 15th of February, 2022, she was parked in an empty lot in North Vancouver, reflecting on some van troubles. That's when she noticed something off.
This guy's taking a picture of my license plate right now and calling the police because he thinks my high beams are on, which they are not. And now we have evidence.
Get your lights off. Get your lights off. You stupid.
Okay. Well, you know, that.
A car pulled up and stopped with its full beam headlights aimed straight into her windshield and just stayed there. 10 minutes passed, still blinding light. Annoyed, she eventually moved her van to get out of the glare. That's when the real weirdness began.
I'm not sure if this is intentional, but these people parked in this parking lot that was empty. I'm pretty sure the business is closed. And they have their like, looks like they're high beams on, blaring. They've been there with the lights on for like 10 minutes now. I don't know why. I'm not doing anything. I'm just, you know, trying to live. I just drove around the block and moved just because they were sitting there with their freaking lights blaring in my face. I don't know what they're doing. There's like 5 of them. What?
The car followed her, and a man got out, loud, confrontational, and claiming to be a lawyer.
What's up? What's up?
Any problem or anything? Because the lady informed me that you tried to accuse them.
Okay, so are they in your car or they're in the other car? I didn't accuse them of anything. The car was parked with the lights blaring my face for about 10 minutes.
Oh, you're in the public area and I'm an attorney.
I didn't accuse... Oh, okay. You're an attorney, then you know the law, right? What did I accuse them of? I moved my vehicle. I moved my vehicle to get my face out of their headlights.
Thank you so much for doing that.
Great.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you. So if someone has an attitude problem, if someone is being rude, yeah, okay. And that's what that was.
He accused her of making false allegations against the women in his vehicle, even though she hadn't accused them of anything. She'd simply mentioned that they'd been sitting there with their lights blasting her in the dark.
He parked his car with his lights blaring in my face and then left for however long. Now, he was probably thinking he wanted to leave the car open on so that the heater was on or whatever the hell they were doing in the car so they were comfortable, right? But they're sitting there with the lights as a spotlight blaring in my face. So it's like if you're in a dark room, because it's dark out, right? You know when your lights are blaring in someone's face because they're all you can see. It's a spotlight on them. If you're in a dark room and you have a flashlight, and if I have a flashlight in a dark room and I'm flashing it in your face, of course I'm going to notice because you're all I can see. So it's like I was all they could see the whole time they were sitting there, and it didn't occur to them until like 10 some odd whatever minutes later, after I went in the back, I packed up the camp stove, I got the van ready to move, I come back in the front and I'm looking and they're still there, and I flipped them off because whatever, I had a moment. And that's when she finally shut off the engine.
Her take? It was obvious they could see exactly what they were doing, like shining a flashlight into someone's eyes in a pitch-black room. But instead of owning it and apologizing, the guy decided to play hero in front of his passengers.
So this guy comes back, or comes back, gets in his car, blah, blah, blah. Then when he's beside me and he's like, the girls said you accused them. So she was probably explaining to him what happened, and instead of saying, oh, it was my fault, my bad, I parked my car, blaring my lights in someone's face, he just went on the attack, and he's just like, I'm a lawyer! So obviously he's trying to bang those girls or impress them for whatever reason. So, ladies, if you're listening to this...
Eventually, he left, but the whole encounter drove home one of the less talked about risks of van life. You don't get to choose who parks next to you. Sometimes it's harmless, sometimes not so much. Number 1. A group of friends went hiking in the woods and had a great time. On their way back, they decided to film a short video to remember the day. While one of them held the camera and recorded the others, everything seemed totally normal. But later, when they watched the video, they noticed something strange, a dark shadow in the background. It looked like a person, but the way it moved wasn't natural, almost like a ghost. The friends were shaken and creeped out by what they had unknowingly caught on camera. Number 2. A couple visited the St. Augustine Lighthouse on a quiet day when no other tourists were around. The husband snapped a photo of the tower. Later, while looking through their pictures, they spotted something strange. There was a woman either sitting or standing on the edge of the lighthouse, but they were sure no one else had been there at the time. Who was she, and why was she there? According to local legend, a painter once fell to his death from the tower, and his wife, Maria Mestre de los Dolores, is believed to return to the lighthouse. She was the first Hispanic woman to serve as a lighthouse keeper. Some say she still comes back to the spot where her husband died. But if both of them are gone now, why would she still return? Wouldn't they be together by now? Number 3. While out camping, a couple decided to check out an old, abandoned mine about 70 miles from the nearest town. They took a few photos during their little adventure. Later, while looking through the pictures, they noticed something strange, a shadowy figure that looked like a cowboy standing on top of a hill. The mysterious shape sparked a lot of debate. Some people think it's just a trick of light and shadows, while others believe it could be something more, something paranormal. The photo only adds to the mystery and fascination of these old mining sites, which are often tied to ghost stories and Wild West legends. Was it the spirit of a long-forgotten cowboy? Or just a creepy coincidence? Number 4. A Reddit user was visiting family in a wooded area when their dad snapped a photo of them standing outside. At first glance, the picture seemed normal until they noticed 2 shadowy figures standing just behind them. What's unsettling is that no one was unaccounted for. The dad was taking the photo, the user's husband was inside, and the kids and brother were sitting next to their father around the fire. So, who were those figures? The photo raised a lot of questions, especially since the family had already been noticing strange things happening before that moment. Could it have been something paranormal? Or just a weird trick of the light? No one's really sure, but it definitely left them spooked. Number 5. A Reddit user named Olive for Life took a solo trip to the Hampstead house in Connecticut and snapped a photo that stirred up quite a bit of curiosity. In the picture, you can just barely make out a faint figure. It's unclear if it's a ghost or just some sort of camera glitch. Hampstead House already has a reputation for ghost stories, which makes the image even more intriguing. Some people believe it's genuine evidence of something supernatural, while others are more skeptical, calling it a trick of the light or a reflection. Number 6. Chris Lockard shared a photo from a camping trip where he and some friends were enjoying a barbecue deep in the woods. At first, the photo looked normal, but once it was brightened, something chilling appeared. Ghostly faces with pale skin and hollow eyes lurking just behind the group. Could the area be haunted, or was it just a strange trick of lighting and shadows? Either way, the creepy image was enough to convince Chris and his friends not to return to that campsite again. Number 7. Reddit user Memento13 Mori shared a creepy experience from a nighttime hike deep in the forest. While walking alone, they spotted a pale, ghostly figure of a girl in the distance. Definitely not someone you'd expect to see out there, especially that far from any trail or town. They managed to snap a quick photo, though the image is blurry and low quality, which they explained was because it was taken years ago on an old phone. Still, the eerie figure is clearly visible. Number 8. In this video, a group of friends went camping in the woods and were enjoying a fun night together. At some point, they snapped a photo to capture the moment. But later, when they looked back at the picture, they noticed something was lurking in the background, quietly watching them from a distance. They hadn't noticed it at the time, which is probably for the best. Had they seen it, the night could have taken a very scary turn. Thankfully, the bear must have decided to move on, leaving the group unharmed. Looking back, they realized just how lucky they were. Number 9. A Reddit user shared a photo her boyfriend took back in 2013 during a hike along the TS Rear Path in the UK. At first glance, the photo looked completely normal, a peaceful trail leading to a clearing in the woods. But years later, while revisiting the image, they noticed something strange. What they thought was a clearing actually appeared to be a glowing white shape at the end of the path. Even more bizarre, when they zoomed in and compared 2 photos taken moments apart, the shape seemed to change slightly between them. The odd image has sparked all kinds of theories from natural light tricks to something more mysterious, but so far, no one has come up with a solid explanation. Number 10. A father was filming a family trip, hoping to create a wholesome video diary of their day. What he didn't know at the time was that the area they were exploring had a dark past. Several people had gone missing there, including 2 sisters who had vanished near a nearby cave not long before. As he filmed around the entrance of the cave, something unexpected happened. The camera picked up 2 figures standing inside, seemingly out of nowhere. Startled by what he saw, he quickly left the area. While the footage doesn't prove anything paranormal, it has sparked a lot of speculation online. Some believe the figures could be the missing sisters. Others think it might have just been local kids pulling a prank. Whatever the case, the video left viewers with more questions than answers. Number 11. A photo shared by Temple Franco shows a young girl doing a handstand at Ohio State University, but something unusual caught people's attention. In the background, there's a faint, semi-transparent figure dressed in old-fashioned clothing. Temple said the photo was taken several years ago, and at the time, no one else was nearby. The image has stirred curiosity, especially since Ohio State has a dark past, including a tragic poisoning incident back in 1925. With the campus already known for reports of paranormal activity, some believe the mysterious figure could be a ghost tied to the university's history. Whether it's a trick of the light or something more chilling, the photo definitely adds to the campus's eerie reputation. Number 12. A family stayed in a remote cottage in Finland, a place that had once housed over 60 woodcutters living in tight quarters. One snowy night, they decided to explore the property and took several photos as they wandered through the dark, snow-covered grounds. Later, while looking through the pictures, one image stood out. A shadowy figure appeared to be walking nearby. But here's the strange part. The entire family had been moving together, and with the deep snow and pitch-black surroundings, it would have been nearly impossible for someone to wander off without being noticed. So who or what was in that photo? Some believe it might be the lingering spirit of one of the woodcutters who once called the cottage home. Whether ghost or illusion, the photo left the family with chills and a story they'll never forget.